Live from WTOC, the Southeast news leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
Well, would like to thank you for joining us here on The News on WTOC Plus on your Wednesday morning. Happy Hump Day. I'm joined with meteorologist Andrew Gorton. My name's not Joe Hennessy. I forgot to change that over from the morning show. But Andrew, we've been in the clear from the rain or from the snow for a couple of days now after the weekend. But it sounds like rain is now rolling in.
Yeah, and you've also kind of persuaded me to go no ties. So
Thank you. We keep it casual here.
Yeah, trying to have fun in here. The rain is going to be something we see later on. Put a video in the WTOC weather app as well. So no excuses. Let's take a look at your forecast and get you going here. So your rain coverage is the highest today, really out of the foreseeable future. You look at super long range data. You get closer to Valentine's Day, 13th, 14th, maybe another system. Not really valid in talking about that this early. But looking at your satellite, your radar, your temperatures, you've got the clouds around, you've got temperatures in the 50s, getting closer to 60s, but also showers there for inland areas pulling from that radar site up in Jasper County. And you can see we've got some showers from Statesboro to Swainsboro, Vidalia, and a little bit in the Baxley area too. Big picture wise, this is kind of showing you that rain comes in later on. Not looping this one, but you can notice that moisture off to our west. It's going to be moving our way. Even some heavier rain down in the panhandle of Florida. So we're not expecting thunderstorms or anything like that. But that light rainfall going to be around for a lot of our inland areas as we go through the afternoon. And we're getting closer to afternoon already. More so into the evening. Of course, I'll show you that future radar. One place that has already seen the rain even early this morning over in Statesboro. Kind of a gloomy Wednesday, but we've got sunshine ahead and not too far away, especially Friday's looking good. Looking at your highs for today, 50s and 60s. So warmest to the south, about 60 or so in Savannah, and those mid 50s right along the coast. For the after school forecast, if you dodged the rain this morning, better rain chance as you go through the afternoon and then into the evening. Visual learner like myself, you probably want to see the future satellite and radar. So mid-afternoon, notice how a lot of that rain is still west of 95. We get closer to that time frame where you have more people on the roads. 5, 6, 7, I think we get damper toward the coast and still going to see those showers around into the mid to late evening hours. During this point, our inland areas that are getting the rain now will start to dry out, while the coast sees those showers move offshore after about midnight, and then we clear out, dry out at least into Thursday morning. Thursday forecast, that 10% is pre-dawn, and then we're going to dry out for the most part. Temperatures there in the 40s for your Thursday, just below freezing on Friday morning, but a nice jump up with temperatures back near 60 on Friday. Still have a few more graphics for you, but we'll look at your 7-day. The one freezing morning, at least widespread, meaning, the Savannah area points west, is Friday. So most of our mornings are warmer. That being said, Sunday morning, inland areas could still get at or below freezing, so keep that in mind. But teased it yesterday, some 70s now in your 7-day forecast. And the high temperatures show a few chances to get into these 70s as we go into next week. Overall, warmer, more temperate, mild, whatever you want to use as a synonym there. For next week, looking a little nicer. And bonus graphic, not a concern, but today is the tornado safety portion of Severe Weather Preparedness Week in Georgia. Always good to remind folks of this. A lot of people move, get new jobs, go to new schools. Make sure at work, school, and home, you know where that safe spot is and have those multiple ways to have weather alerts. I know weather radios, usually they're $30, $40, but they do the job, and it's good investment for your family. And of course, the WTOC weather app is there to alert you as well. I do think that today specifically, the tornado drill for Chatham County has been postponed to Friday.
Do they do sirens here on Wednesdays? That's what we used to do in Ohio.
First Wednesday of the month.
Okay, interesting.
So just keep that in mind.
Andrew, I'm liking the temperatures, not liking the rain, but I think we should know the rain is really needed. I know Bacon County just put out a burn warning, or burn ban, excuse me. We'll talk about that in a moment, but I've seen a couple of those posted in the last 3-4 weeks across the region.
Yeah, and tomorrow we'll get an update on the drought monitor for Georgia and South Carolina. So, the rain that falls today is not going to be calculated in this week's. They stop at some point on Tuesday, kind of work the data, and then they release it Thursday. So if anything falls on Wednesday, it never gets in that week. It's always the next. So I do expect, bad drought conditions, whether it's severe or higher, for a good bit. And we're seeing the worst drought specifically locally south of I-16.
Okay. And I guess speaking of that, we can get right into the burn ban out of Bacon County, which was just issued this morning. I've got the details right here. My graphic pops up. There we
Boom,
go.
there you go.
Yeah, this for all of Bacon County is issued by the Alma-Bacon County Fire Department this morning. Fire officials say the county is in extreme drought status. While the burn ban is in place, all outdoor burnings prohibited. That includes burning trash, debris, yard waste, and having open campfires. Violators of the ban would be subject to fines. That's all according to the Alma-Bacon County Fire Department. Well, turning now to the crime watch this morning, a former Jessup prison officer has pleaded guilty to taking over $80,000 in bribes in exchange for allowing contraband. 36-year-old Ashley Brown from Hinesville pleaded guilty to double-digit counts for her role in a prison contraband trafficking conspiracy that operated within FCI Jessup back in 2022. Now, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Georgia, Brown accepted bribes sent to her by individuals closely related with FCS Jessup inmates through Cash App, using fake names like Bonnie Bonnie, Clyde Clyde, and Honey Honey. She received over $80,000 in bribes for allowing contraband like methamphetamine, K2, cell phones, postage stamps, and cigarettes. DOJ investigators identified some of the inmates who were giving money to Brown through Cash App records, several of whom have already been sentenced. Brown herself is awaiting sentencing. Well, Burton Fire and the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office are on the scene of a crash right now at the intersection of Paris Island Gateway and Trask Parkway. This is a picture of the crash that the Burton Fire Department sent us. They say that the area is a leading location for collisions. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported. However, Burton Fire officials are saying that traffic is delayed, and they advise drivers to avoid the area if possible. Turning now to continuing coverage, new police body camera video from our sister station in Atlanta is giving us fresh insight into last week's unprecedented FBI raid at the Fulton County Elections Hub.
So did anybody...
Body camera footage shows the initial confusion as FBI agents tried to seize ballots from the 2020 election. Atlanta police are confused about not being notified before the FBI agents showed up. Now, throughout the hours-long search of the building, our sister station learned the FBI arrived on scene with the wrong type of search warrant. They had one for the elections office, but needed one for the clerk of courts.
So did anybody get a physical copy of the search warrant?
So we have a search warrant for this, like literally the entire location.
Okay.
But now we're amending another search warrant for another location.
The warrant will be amended slightly.
I got you.
One way or the other, the records are coming with us today.
Well, Savannah and Chatham County leaders are preparing their pitches for state lawmakers as more than 750 people from our area head to the state capitol for an event that's been going on for about 30 years now. The Georgia General Assembly will be listening to leaders like Brett Brantley, the CEO of the area's Chamber of Commerce. He says he's looking for the state to invest in tourism as the World Cup invites international visitors to the Peach State. Savannah Mayor Van Johnson says he will fight for key issues during this election year. Governor Brian Kemp has already approved some of the Savannah-related items, including funding for tourism and a $50 million homeless response grant across the state. We should also note WTOC's Cam McCann just arrived in Atlanta. He will have coverage throughout this afternoon and this evening during the news. All right, well, you might ask yourself while eating in Georgia, where did this shrimp come from? Was it from our coast? Was it from a different coast? Well, Georgia Senate voters passed a law aimed at giving transparency and supporting our local shrimping industry. Now, the bill passed in the Senate 43-8 on Monday. Imported shrimp are typically cheaper for businesses rather than wild-caught U.S. shrimp. U.S. harvested shrimp faces some of the strictest safety, labor, and environmental standards as well. 4 other southern states already have similar transparency laws. South Carolina and Florida are looking at legislative options as well.
We're not trying to, there's no way to stop the imports. You know, it's going to happen. They've taken the market over. They do over 95% of what the nation consumes is farm raised and imported. And so, you know, we keep telling ourselves, well, we only have to hit 5% of the people that it's willing to look for and ask for, you know, domestic wild caught shrimp. And that's the biggest issue is getting that 5%.
All restaurants would have to have disclosures on their menus saying if it's been imported on each menu item with shrimp. Well, a new candidate joins the race for Georgia's governor, an election that's set for November. Rick Jackson is the billionaire founder of the major Georgia healthcare company, Jackson Healthcare. His budget includes $40 million in advertising. Jackson joins a crowded field of 13 candidates for Georgia governor so far. He is running as a Republican. So far, there are 7 Democrats and 6 Republicans vying for the job. Current Governor Brian Kemp is at the end of his term limit. Election day is November 3rd. Well, a woman from South Georgia is now in custody in Croatia after being arrested in connection to a kidnapping case out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Brian Norman from our sister station in Albany has the story.
This is Alicia Seymour, the Utah mom who vanished with her 4 children in November after posting apocalyptic warnings on social media. National News reports that she fled to Croatia, believing Salt Lake City would be destroyed.
Where you are not being warned constantly, and you are ignoring the warnings, many of you.
And this is Lovey McVeigh, a 49-year-old Coffee County woman whose family says she also posted similar warning messages online.
So I started reading it, and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I had mentioned, I was like, hey, she's got some of the same beliefs that my ex-stepmom has.
According to a Douglas Now story, McVeigh was the American host family Seymour stayed with in Croatia. The report says both women were arrested. Lovey's family confirms McVeigh's 13-year-old child remains in a Croatian orphanage. According to an AP report, authorities found Seymour living with an American family. Seymour was arrested on child custody violations. A Utah news outlet reported that her 4 children are back with their father in Utah. But Douglas Now broke the local news that McVeigh was also arrested on child endangerment charges. That article says her child remains in Croatia.
He is somewhere that, you know, they don't speak the same language. There's communication barrier, doesn't know anybody.
Cruz says the child's father is working with the U.S. Embassy to bring him home.
Well, happening today in Savannah, Chatham Area Transit is offering free rides all day long to mark Transit Equity Day and honor the legacy of Rosa Parks. The Free Ride Initiative marks Rosa Parks' birthday today. It honors Parks' historic 1955 act of civil disobedience that sparked the civil rights movement when she refused to give up her seat on a bus in Alabama. All fixed route and paratransit services will be free today. CAT officials say the Zero Fare Day highlights the importance of accessible, affordable public transportation. The agency will also dedicate a seat on every bus and paratransit vehicle in memory of Rosa Parks. And finally, in consumer news, we all know that Sunday isn't just about football. It's also about the food. And this year, you can score by paying less for at least one Super Bowl party staple. CBS's Christian Benavides takes a look at the pricing spread on some of the most popular Super Bowl food items.
At Duffy's Sports Grill in Miami Beach, Stephanie Langford told us Super Bowl Sunday she'll be at a sports bar cheering on New England.
If it's my team, if it's the Patriots, I got to be out and make people mad.
Still, she and Seahawks fans will likely be sharing the same game day snack favorites.
Wings, I like fried mushrooms, nachos.
Jesse Gavilanes will be at the bar too with his own game plan.
I like spicy wings. So it has to be a buffalo and spicy. We start out a little soft and then head on to the spiciness.
Chicken wings are the most popular item on the menu at Duffy's, Florida's largest family-owned sports bar chain.
Annually, we sell about 6.4 million wings. So if you line those up, end to end, you could go from here to Jacksonville.
So it is no surprise that this Sunday is also their big game day. Duffy CEO Joe Webb.
Before the game, it's all pickup. We're sending thousands of wings home with people. And then it changes where everybody wants to be inside.
Some wing enthusiasts may see a price break.
Chicken's down because we produced about 2.5% more chicken last year than the year before. So lots of chicken out there in the market.
Wells Fargo economist Michael Swanson says it's not the only game day staple with a lower price.
Some of the real big favorites for Super Bowl are actually down from a year ago.
Wings are down nearly 3%. Avocados are also down, along with tortilla chips and frozen pizza.
While chicken wings are a bargain and cheaper avocados will keep your guac prices down, a colorful veggie tray is likely to cost more.
Cauliflower is up 4%. Cherry tomatoes and celery are both up about 2%. The most expensive food items this year will be beef and shrimp. So plan ahead if you're watching the game and your wallet. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami Beach.
All right, and with that, we're going to wrap things up here for the news on WTOC Plus. We'd like to thank you all for making us part of your morning. We'll be back in just about 45 minutes for another round of stories during the news at noon. In the meantime, you can always head on over to our website for the latest updates at WTOC.com. Thanks for watching, and here's Local News Live.